All right, well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today for this informational session on a brand new program that we are incredibly excited to bring to you, which is Pisando Fuerte, which is a high-level evidence-based fall prevention program. You're going to hear a lot about the program itself, the development of it, as well as how to get started with this program in your community. My name is Jill Rankin. I'm the Executive Director of the Wisconsin Institute for Healthy Aging, and we are the program purveyors for this program. We disseminate this program here in Wisconsin as well as nationwide. Next slide. So a little bit about our organization. We are a nonprofit organization based here in Wisconsin, and our mission is to improve the health and well-being of all people as they age. And we do this by disseminating evidence-based programs and practices, and we also engage in collaborative public health strategies in Wisconsin and also nationally. So like I said, we disseminate programs here in Wisconsin and also have available for national dissemination a handful of programs that you'll hear a little bit about today, focusing on Pisando Forte. So I'm going to hand it over to our lead trainer to talk a little bit more about the program.
All right, thanks, Jill. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Suzanne Morley. I'm a health promotion program coordinator with the Wisconsin Institute for Healthy Aging, and I am the program lead for the Stepping On and Pisando Fuerte Falls Prevention Program. So today we're going to talk a little bit about, first of all, why we're here, why falls prevention matters. I'll give you an overview of the Pisando Fuerte program and talk a little bit about the differences between Pisando Fuerte and Stepping On. We'll talk about training and other ongoing support, and then we'll have Erin discuss how to become a license holder if you're outside of the state of Wisconsin. And we'll wrap up by talking about the key factors for successful implementation and how to fund your Pisando Fuerte program. And then, of course, I'll have some time for questions and answers at the end. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to drop those in the chat, raise your hand, come off mute. Pretty informal here, so feel free to ask your questions as you have them, but we'll have time for that at the end too. Of course, why falls prevention matters. This is the data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Falls are the leading cause of injury and death among older adults, and older adults meaning 65 plus, and the falls death rate is increasing. We know that 1 in 4 older adults falls each year, and 30% of those falls require medical attention. And new data from the CDC shows that falls among older adults cost $80 billion each year. This is up from $50 billion when this data was previously done in 2015. So the number is increasing by quite a bit. The risk of falling is similar across race and ethnicity. And although the age-adjusted death rate due to falls is higher for those who are white, the age-adjusted rate for Hispanic and Latino older adults has been rising over the last few years. So this is concerning as the older adult and Hispanic and Latino population in the US is growing exponentially. And there are few evidence-based falls prevention programs designed for this population. So that's really where Pisando Fuerte comes in. Pisando Fuerte is a high-level evidence-based community falls prevention program. It is similar to the Stepping On program, but it is culturally and linguistically adapted. And it does provide similar benefits to the Stepping On program, which is proven to reduce falls by 31%. It's an 8-week workshop, so it's 2 hours per session. And then there's a refresher, a booster session 3 months after the 8th session ends. It's multifactorial, and I'll talk a little bit more about that on the next slide. But it includes adult learning techniques. We have guest experts that are invited in. There's peer-to-peer learning, vignettes, handouts, and it uses the decision-making process to enact change. The benefits of the Pisando Fuerte program include that it builds confidence for the program attendees. There's that peer-to-peer learning, which is super impactful, greater awareness of the risk factors of falls, and it reduces falls. So you have more awareness of those risk factors, things like throw rugs, balance and strength, and it really enacts change in the participants. What is a multifactorial program? If you're not familiar with Stepping On or Pisando Fuerte, these high-level evidence-based programs are a little bit unique. So they include different aspects that can impact falls. So things like improving balance and gait and fear of falling. There are balance and strength exercises that are practiced at each session. So it's based on a proven exercise program. And those exercises aren't just taught and we're like, the facilitators are like, here you go. You need to do these exercises, but it's really explained why and the importance of doing those exercises. So linking the exercises to functional activities, such as moving along in a church pew or reaching and grabbing a can out of a cupboard, different things like that, so that the participants really understand the purpose of the exercises. We encourage doing the balance and strength exercises at home. So the balance exercises, we inform the participants that they should be practiced daily, and the strength exercises should be practiced every other day. And then we also practice those in the sessions each week. We also encourage progression of the exercises as people are able to. So progressing the exercises, whether that's holding on less, if you have a support near you, increasing the number of repetitions, or increasing weight with using ankle weights with some of the exercises. There's lots of different topics that are discussed in the Pisando Fuerte program. So the topics include the risk factors and safety strategies related to different things that can impact the risk of someone falling, including vision, home safety, medications, calcium and vitamin D, safe footwear, safe mobility, out and about in the community, safety, travel safety, different things like that. So lots of great information is shared in the 8 sessions. And then, of course, like I mentioned, we do invite guest experts into the program. That really just lends credibility to the program. We find in the Pisando Fuerte and Stepping On programs that the participants really enjoy learning from the guest experts that are invited in. We have a guest expert that teaches the balance and strength exercises and actually comes for 3 of the 8 sessions. We have someone that comes in and talks about vision and age-related changes due to vision. Another person comes in and talks about medications and how those can impact the risk of falling. And then a community safety expert that talks about safety out and about in the community. So if you're familiar with the Stepping On program, there are some changes from that program to Pisando Fuerte. So the Pisando Fuerte program was developed with the Community Academic Aging Research Network, or CARN, to be culturally competent. So it's not just the Stepping On program turned into Spanish. There are some changes here. So you can see on the left is Stepping On and on the right is Pisando Fuerte. The reading level, a little bit different. Ankle weights for Stepping On, we really require those participants to use them if they're able to, but in the Pisando Fuerte program, those are optional. The facilitator background, it's the same as the Stepping On program, but with the additional options or requirements of having a facilitator that maybe is a community health worker or someone else who works with the Hispanic or Latino older adults. And of course, they must be fluent in Spanish. Guest experts, some changes here depending on the program as well. So we love to have guest experts that can attend in person, but know that that can be a challenge for some areas and locations. So we have some stipulations there. Stepping On is 7 sessions long plus a booster session, but Pisando Fuerte is 8 sessions. And we invite the family and friends to attend the last session for a celebration. Incentives are offered in the Pisando Fuerte program, and there are some additional visual aids and activities as well for Pisando Fuerte. For the facilitators of the program, they must hold at least 1 community workshop every 12 months. And for Pisando Fuerte and Stepping On, you must have at least 2 facilitators per workshop. So you're going to have 2 facilitators that are certified. They've gone through the facilitator training, or 1 facilitator that's certified and 1 peer facilitator. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on too. Target participants of the Pisando Fuerte program are those who are older adults. They live independently. They don't need to use a walker indoors. Cane use is okay indoors and outdoors. They don't need a wheelchair. They are without a diagnosed cognitive impairment. And of course, they speak fluent Spanish. So it really should be those community dwelling older adults that can reside out and about in the community. They don't need that more specialized treatment or specialized care. I'm going to turn it over to Erin to talk a little bit more about training and license.
Hi, everyone. So we license programs. We at Wisconsin Institute for Healthy Aging license programs across the country, and Pisando Fuerte is one of those programs. So if anyone is interested in offering the Pisando Fuerte program outside of Wisconsin, you would need to hold a license for the program. So licensing and training, those structures really go hand in hand for us here at WEHA. And we know that training really provides that information and kind of that leadership there. So we strive to support license holders the best that we can and provide that training and resources to both those license holders and the facilitators of the Pisando Fuerte or other programs too. So all facilitators will practice under a license that is held by an organization, and that organization would be responsible for the oversight of that facilitator and then the program overall. And that helps us ultimately reach more older adults across the country. Next slide. So there are two types of license holders. So one is a sole affiliate, and that's if one organization holds the license within that state, and they have trained facilitators just within their one organization. So if like University of Texas has the license and they're just training people from University of Texas, that would be a sole license holder. Then we have what we call affiliate licenses. So an affiliate is a separate organization in the same state as the license holder. So if University of Texas also worked with like a public health department in Texas, then that would be an affiliate, or it's a branch of the licensee in a different location within the same state. So different subsets of that license holder there. So our license fees are kind of set up as there's the sole license fee, and then that kind of increases depending on the number of affiliates that are involved under that license too. So regardless of whether it's a sole or an affiliate license, a license covers the geographic area of just one state. We can provide detailed budgets or costs kind of available upon request, or kind of talk through with you too, kind of a little bit more detail about what that means to have an affiliate and what kind of levels that might put you at. Next slide. So how does WEHA support license holders? So once somebody comes on board and purchases the licenses, we at WEHA really strive to provide you a lot of different materials and resources to help make your program successful in your state. So one of those things includes the welcome kit, and that includes many different materials. We also get you onto our website, and we do have a password protected section of our website with additional materials on there. So this would give you access to different promotional materials, workshop materials, all of the different templates that you might need to be able to customize and put into your local program. We'd also provide you with some report parameters. So you would need to provide some information once a year back to WEHA on the success of your program and how many participants you're reaching and the number of facilitators that you have. And then we also provide regular communication to help strengthen facilitation skills and to help you build the program overall too. We do occasionally have webinars to help refresh skills for facilitators. We also provide technical assistance. We do have a lot of different falls prevention resources that we can help to provide you, and that can help to build your program as well, or describe the need for the program too. We also have electronic workshop materials if you're holding virtual classes, and a program implementation guide. The program implementation guide is a great place for you to start, even if you're not already a license holder. That can kind of help you see what the program is about and how much that might cost, and help you to determine readiness for whether your organization is ready to take on this program. And then we also provide fidelity coaching to help ensure the quality of the program is the same as what it was during testing and research phases of the program. Next slide. So just as kind of a starting place, so our sole license holders, the cost for that is $3,250, and that is for a 3-year license, so covering that 3-year span. And then again, that fee does increase based on the number of tiers or the affiliates that you have. So we do have sections. So the first one would be 1 to 4 affiliates, and then 5 to 9 affiliates, and it kind of increases from there. So when affiliates are involved, it's very common for the license holder to work with the affiliate to help cover the costs of the license. So that can be a good way to help reduce one organization's cost for the program by having several organizations kind of contribute to that as well. It does increase the license fee overall, but to the individual organizations, sometimes that can help. It's really, excuse me, it is at the sole discretion of the license holder if they ask those affiliates to contribute to that license fee or not too. And then if anybody is a current stepping on license holder, we are offering a special in 2024 here where you can get $1,000 off of that 3-year license for Pisando Fuerte. And then I'll turn it back over to Suzanne.
Awesome. Thanks, Erin. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the training options. So we do have our facilitator trainings available. Our upcoming trainings are all virtual, but we do sometimes offer in-person trainings. So if you have the funding and capacity and ability to send people to Wisconsin for a facilitator training, if we have something like that available, you can do that. But typically what will happen is you as a license holder will send individuals to our online virtual facilitator training. That facilitator training is 4 days long, and it's typically split up between 2 weeks. So 2 days 1 week and 2 days the next week. We do sometimes hold those 4 days all in 1 week. Once you have facilitators trained, and after the eligibility criteria are met, we do have a couple of different options for you to expand your program. So you can train master trainers so that master trainers in your state can conduct local facilitator trainings. So this would be after you have 2 people in your state or under your license trained in the Pisando Fuerte program. After they have done 2 community workshops and passed a successful fidelity coaching session, they then would qualify to become a master trainer. And then after they are trained as a master trainer, they can conduct facilitator trainings in your state under your license. The other option to expand your program is training peer facilitators. So if you have a facilitator that goes through our virtual facilitator training, that's what we call a certified facilitator. That certified facilitator, once they do at least 1 community workshop and pass a successful fidelity coaching session, they themselves can then train peer facilitators. So a peer facilitator is typically someone that's gone through the program themselves. They're an older adult. They were an enthusiastic participant during the program. They would be a good role model for future programs, future workshops. They have the ability to demonstrate the exercises and can really just assist the facilitator, the certified facilitator, in leading those workshops. So like I said previously, you can lead a workshop with either 2 certified facilitators or 1 certified facilitator and 1 peer facilitator. And that training, we do have an outline on our website. And again, after those eligibility criteria are met, those are just some great ways to expand the program in your areas. I will say for stepping on, we do have a pretty robust group of peer facilitators. I looked at the data last year for 2023, and a third of our stepping on facilitator, or a third of our workshops in Wisconsin were co-facilitated by a peer facilitator. So it's just a great way to really expand the reach of your program and have that volunteer role model be a part of your program. They're also a great way to spread the reach of the program. They're talking to their friends, their family members, their doctors, medical providers about it. So it's a really great way to get some word of mouth out about the program too. So a couple of different tips on the next couple of slides. So some successes to a successful implementation. Like Erin said, we do have the implementation guide that you can look through. But just some things to keep in mind, you're going to want to have strong agency leadership. So your licensing organization needs to have a health promotion commitment, really have that strong leadership and organizational stability. Typically, you'll assign program implementation duties to a specific person or a team of people. You're going to want to have some meetings or pieces in place to prepare for the facilitator training before you fill out that application for the facilitator training. Have those 2 people identified to co-facilitate together. Maybe start talking about or thinking about where you're going to lead a workshop, who you're going to have for your guest experts, different things like that to prepare for those facilitator trainings. and really just prepare for those community workshops. You'll want to have someone that can supervise and support and provide direction to your facilitators, someone that is going to ensure that you have people attending the facilitator trainings and making sure that your facilitators are conducting at least one workshop every 12 months. That's a really important piece of the Pisando Fuerte program. In order for a facilitator to remain certified, they do need to conduct at least one community workshop every 12 months, or unfortunately, they would need to go through the facilitator training again. So keeping that organization, just those organizational skills, having everything in line, having your facilitators set up, having your community workshop set up, really important pieces to kind of think about for implementation of the program. And then you also want those strong community partnerships, whether that's partnerships for marketing and outreach, partnerships for getting guest experts involved in your program, whatever it might be, those strong community partnerships will be really helpful in getting your program off the ground as well. And then it can be helpful, like I said, to have some sort of team or organizational plan or something to make sure that you're getting the tasks completed, sharing roles, having things in place, having someone that's doing registration, having someone that's setting up the guest experts, following up with participants, maybe if they miss a session, printing out handouts, different things like that. So you have that program implementation person, but then all the duties aren't falling right on them. You have some sort of team that's helping to complete those tasks that you need to do for your program. Other tips for funding your program. The implementation guide goes into a little bit more detail about the costs that might be attributed to doing a community workshop. Different things like funding for snacks or purchasing ankle weights, different things like that. So different options for funding your program, again, paying for the facilitator training. This is a high-level evidence-based program. It has been approved by the Administration for Community Living as a high-level evidence-based program, so you can use Title IIID Older Americans Act funding for it. You can apply for grants, whether that's a big grant or a small grant. There's lots of different organizations. You probably know of some in your local community. Maybe there's a local hospital foundation, or there's the Walmart foundation. You can apply for different grants through Walmart or gas stations, electric companies, different things like that. You can always ask for donations. Again, it doesn't hurt to ask. Maybe a local grocery store or convenience store would be willing to donate some healthy snacks for your sessions. Or donate some printing or marketing or things like that. You can always budget the program into your annual budget for sustainability, budgeting things like training facilitators, program handouts and materials, different things like that. And then you can always think about diversifying your partners and reaching out to agencies like insurance companies. We do have some experience with that in Wisconsin and know of other states that are doing things like that, and would be happy to talk more about that if that's something you're interested in. So next steps, we do have a facilitator training coming up this fall on November 12th to the 15th. That is $950 per trainee. And we'll be releasing our 2025 training dates coming soon. So like Erin said, there is a discount this year if you are a current stepping on license holder for adding on that Pisando Fuerte license. But we do have one facilitator training this year, and then we'll have 2 virtual facilitator trainings next year. And the link on the screen that takes you to our website. You can also scan the QR code for more information. But really, if you're looking at our WEHA website, this is where you'll go for some more information. So under programs and workshops, you can learn more about the Pisando Fuerte program. Under the For Professional section of our website, if you're not a current license holder, you can see where that arrow is pointing to learn more about being a license holder. You can always reach out to us. We're happy to set up one-on-one meetings, a 30-minute virtual meeting to kind of talk through any questions that you have. But that might be a good starting point so you can learn a little bit more. And then you can learn a little bit more as well about becoming a Pisando Fuerte facilitator under that Become a Facilitator section under For Professionals. So we have lots of great information and resources on our website. Again, happy to set up any one-on-one meetings with anyone that's interested in licensing. or attending the facilitator training, or if anyone does have any questions, again, you can always reach out. The email and phone numbers on the screen here. Happy to talk via phone, email, or virtual conversation. But I will leave it open now for questions. If anyone does have any questions, like I said, feel free to throw those in the chat or jump off of mute and you can ask your questions now.
Hi, my name is Lucy and I'm with Racine ADRC. And I do have a couple questions. The first one is, you said something about statistics for the Latino community. As far as fall goes, do you have those available anywhere so that we can share those when we're talking to people about it?
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll send out a recording of this webinar to everyone that registered, and I'll share the data that I was talking about in that email that I send out, probably either sometime this afternoon or early tomorrow.
Okay. And then the second question is, are there any other counties or what counties are offering Pisando Fuerte and what is the success rate for that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I should have looked at this beforehand. We just started this program in Wisconsin this year. We do have one national license holder in Iowa. Erin, do you know where the counties are that are doing it? I believe it's Milwaukee County.
Yeah, I'm just looking right now.
Okay. Yeah, and we'd be happy to connect you too if you're interested in talking to a facilitator that's been running the program. We just held a facilitator training, I think it was in June, and trained some new facilitators as well. And have some, go ahead, Erin.
We have a few in Dane County, a few in Waukesha County, Washington County, and Milwaukee County.
Yeah, so that's for,
if I could, sorry.
Yeah, that's for Wisconsin, and we'd be happy to connect you with some of those individuals, definitely.
Yes, that would be nice because I would like to see, what they're doing and how they're getting people, because it's really hard to get people to buy into it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been my challenge before with the diabetes one that you guys also offered. It's been a challenge to get people to go. So that would be good to connect with people that have been holding it already and seeing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And even if you're outside of Wisconsin, if you're interested in talking to someone that's been running the program, happy to connect you with those people. We are available, like Erin said, for technical assistance as well. So if you want to talk through any participant recruitment strategies, we're more than happy to do that too. And we have some additional resources on our website.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, well, not seeing or hearing any. You have our email, phone number, contact information. Like I said, I'll be sending out the recording for this meeting sometime in the next day or two, and I'll share some of that additional information. And if you're interested in getting in touch with someone that has been facilitating this program, definitely reach out and I can make sure to connect you with those individuals. Thanks everyone for attending.